From Toronto, Ontario, Canada, welcome back to the Scotiabank Arena and Heat Live post-game edition presented by Verizon. Miami loses to Toronto 128-114. The Raptors win all 4 games this season against Miami. They win by 26 on Tuesday and by 14 tonight. So Toronto improves to 45-35. The Heat drop to 41-39. Coming up on tonight's postgame show, we'll hear Eric Spoelstra's postgame press conference. John Crotty and Amy Audibert will give you their honest and expert analysis of what happened tonight to the Heat. And we'll take you inside the locker room, as we always do. And for the true Heat fan, we know you are still with us, enjoying the wins and getting through the defeats in this up and down season for Miami. Eric Reed with John Crotty. Before we dive into this game, the Heat now 2 games above 500. It's looking more and more like the 10th seed is going to be theirs, probably. Who that 9th seed is going to be, who knows? Charlotte right now is a half game behind Philadelphia, and that's pending the Sixers outcome. The Sixers probably going to lose to Houston tonight without Embiid. That would even Philly and Charlotte with the same record. Can you imagine if the Heat play Philly in the first playing game and no Embiid? There's still a lot of pieces to the puzzle yet to come into play. So let's dial it back to tonight's game. It started so well for the Heat, John. They scored the first 7 points. They were feisty and competitive early. But the Raptors' defense, again, and their offense wore Miami down.
Yeah, I mean, the first quarter was just the way you want Miami to compete. It was a much more forceful effort. The defense was there. They started 7-0, forced a timeout on the Toronto side. Second quarter, things flipped back where Toronto was able to get to their game, which was really stifling Miami, making plays on the offensive end. They were drawing so many fouls, which was uncharacteristic for Miami to pick up fouls. They averaged about 18 fouls a game. They had 25. The free throw difference and the turnovers were the big factors for Miami losing this game. 15 turnovers for Miami, and the Raptors scored 24 points off those turnovers. That's what they do well. They punish you and when you make mistakes, and then they were able to get to the free throw line 34 times to Miami's 14. So those two factors gave them extra possessions because of Miami turnovers, and then being able to get to that free throw line helped with those extra points.
Yeah, it was 24-9 Toronto in points off turnovers, and it's a shame because the Heat shot 56%, their best field goal percentage in a loss this season. But let's take a look at our game summary from tonight's Toronto victory. Take a couple positives for Miami. Let's start with the point guard, Davion Mitchell. 15 points on 7 of 9 shooting. He also had 11 assists for his 5th double-double. And John, he competed from start to finish, and you noticed that.
He was great. And again, he wanted to play against his former team, little chip on his shoulder. I love it. I love playing guys who want to play against their former teams. But his ability to make decisions were really on. Let's talk about Bam, too. His leadership, I thought, was impressive. He got activated early, and look at the inspiration he played with. So much passion. Being able to follow his own misses and play with strength and power. Nothing soft in this performance. Didn't get relegated out beyond the arc. He made sure that he was attacking that paint.
9 steals for Toronto. How about that? Murray Boyles and Mamu Kelishvili each had 2 steals apiece. R.J. Barrett had a couple of steals as well. So Ingram with season-high 38. Barrett had 22. 17 off the bench with 8 rebounds for that rookie Colin Murray Boyles. For the Heat, Bam, the 24, 11, and 8 with 2 block shots. The captain did what he could. It wasn't enough for the Heat to get the win. They will head to Washington tomorrow night with a 41-39 record and just 2 games left in this 38th regular season of Miami Heat basketball. We'll hear from the coach when we come back.
Coming in about how important this was, about the embarrassment on Tuesday, a good start, then what?
That's sobering. It's definitely humbling. I don't have the answers right now. We are searching. We went through everything yesterday, had a productive shoot-around today, but we were just outclassed again. It was, again, in the first half, it was probably just going to be a back-and-forth game. But it was the special team stuff again. The 19 second chance, 13 off turnovers versus their pressure, just coughing it up. Every time we coughed it up, it led to a three or an easy basket, and then we just could not rebound the basketball. That was 31 relief points, and then they just carried that on. Even though we made a big run, to get it to 9 or whatever it was, they were in control.
Typically, when a team loses 10 of 13, they change things up. They go to something different. You're on a very tight schedule.
Yeah.
Is there a way to try something different to get out of this?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, all options are on the table now. We got to look at everything. We have looked at a lot, but we'll continue to work to find solutions.
I've asked you this multiple times over the last few weeks, but how do you explain just what's going on with the defense?
I don't know. I've never been a part of something like this, so we just have to put our heads together and commit. It's about committing to doing really tough things in this league. Each night is a great challenge, and it's not easy to defend in this league. And I can't explain it. We had way more months of good habits than what we've seen the last 3 weeks. But these 3 weeks of really poor defensive games are overwhelming. The rest of what we've done. The rest of the season.
Is it effort? Is it system? And
I don't know. I have to look at all of it. I don't have those answers right now. When we're getting beat up on the glass, that's effort. It depends on the game. It's like different things. We're plugging holes in a dam right now, but we have to figure it out, and that's what we'll focus on right now.
Ira's earlier question, when you talk about possibly changing things, is that to win a game tomorrow, or is that to get to where you're at your best next week?
I'm not really emotionally ready to answer that right now, but we'll see. It's like this is 11th hour, so we don't have a bunch of time right now, but I'm also not blind to seeing what's going on. I don't know. Sometimes it's we're getting off to a poor start, Tonight it was the end of the first quarter, end of the third quarter, but we're looking at all of it, and we just, we have to find some kind of solutions, and the solutions are there. That's what's so perplexing. But I don't have that answer right now.
You guys are 12-4 on second nights and back-to-back. Just finished your 80th game. Can you almost put tunnel vision on and look at that?
We have to. There's no other choice. Nobody's going to feel sorry for us. Nobody cares, except for everybody in the locker room. We have a group that cares, but we can't find a way to overcome right now. But we still have an opportunity to do that. So as frustrating as it may be, we just have to focus on sticking together and putting together a good game tomorrow night. Thank you.